Welcome to the Q&A. You guys have submitted some great questions and we're going to waste no time in getting into them. So question number one, what's one thing you know now that you wish you knew when you started trading? I wish I knew market cycles. I wish I knew averages of how much money that I needed to make over the course of 12 months. Not every month is going to be a winning month. You are going to have losing months, and you might have a month where you make 12% and then the next 3 months you might be down 1% each month. Just understanding those cycles, understanding economic values in certain currencies, and making sure that I keep a level head in terms of my emotions when I do lose money, and not revenge trading, just jump into positions to make that money back. Also not quitting my job too early, really just working out what type of account size I would need in terms of being able to sustain those bills every single month without having to constantly chase those bills. That's two of the biggest things I would say. How long have you been trading Forex for? 5 years coming next year, so it'll be 5 years coming next year. What strategy you use to trade the market? To be honest, I'm a bit more of a longer term trader. But it really just depends where the entries are. If you study the markets, study how you react to the markets, and based on your current situation, how much time do you have to put into this? If you don't have as much time to spend, maybe 1, 2 or 3 hours a day staring at the charts, maybe a longer term strategy might be for you. Me personally, I use both. I use longer term strategies and I also use shorter term strategies. It just depends what kind of state the market's in, if it's giving short little bursts or if it's actually giving nice long trends. It depends on the economic climate. Like right now, with everything going on with the trade wars and the presidential elections affecting the majority of the market pairs, tends to be a little bit shorter term trades that I'm taking right now. So it all just depends on what's going on in the economic side of things, and utilising everything you know as a trader to adjust profitably. How do I know what trading style fits my personality? Well, it just depends on how well you can handle your emotions. If you handle your emotions well, then it really doesn't matter what type of trading strategy you go for. If you are a bit of an emotional trader, you need to build up to and being a bit more relaxed in the markets. Longer term trades aren't for you because you have to hold them for long periods of time. You have to have a good understanding of market cycles, knowing pullback phases and drawdowns. Basically, if your trades in quite a bit of positive equity, it's going to have a drawdown, it's going to pull back. It might even pull back close to your entry point, and you might be forced emotionally to close it because you think that you're going to start losing money, when long behold it was just a pullback, and it eventually surges into the second or third cycle of the market phase in your desired direction. So you just need to understand these things and make sure that you're not exiting the markets too early when you think that you may be losing money. Trust your analysis. If your analysis is solid, trust it. Because if you trust your analysis and you have a loss, it's still a good trade, versus not trusting your analysis and letting it run, being stubborn and winning, that's a bad trade. So just knowing these differences is going to help you a lot. How should I analyse the market? Well, you should analyse the market every single Sunday, and you should analyse it in a certain train of thought. If you are chasing money, if you are feeling like you've not had a win in a long time, you should not be analysing the markets. Take a step back and stay away from the charts until you get out that mood or that train of thought. At what time should I place my trades? Whenever you see a sell. It really doesn't matter. I know some people avoid night times because the spreads tend to be typically higher, but really just whenever you see a sell. What reward to risk ratio should I aim for? You should always be minimum aiming for 1-to-1. If you're a beginner trader, aim for 1-to-1, and then as you do get more skills, start aiming for 2-to-1, 3-to-1. Some trades you can get all the way up to 8-to-1 plus, but again, that comes with experience. It comes with getting a real good understanding of the market. So stick from 1-to-1 to begin with, and once you get a good few of them consecutively under your belt, then you can start moving to 2-to-1. 3-1, 4-1, etc. How do you handle stress of a losing trade? Stay away from the market. Stay away from the market, keep a journal, analyse every, not just step that you took to place that trade, but also how you felt throughout the trade and what thoughts you felt and what actions led to you maybe taking after those thoughts. So if you thought maybe you were a bit angry and then you were thinking about jumping in the trade, what did that trade look like and why was it a bad idea, and how did it look like a good idea at the time just because you were blinded by, say, maybe anger that the market took money off you? How many trades should I have open simultaneously? Well, it depends on your risk appetite. Me personally, I would say only have 3 positions open at 1% at any given time. If you do have 0.5% positions open, then maybe you could have 4 or 5. Make sure that you only have 3% running at any given time. That's generally my rule of thumb. Should I combine Forex with other markets? That is entirely up to you. Me personally, I'm strictly trading Forex. Sometimes metals like gold and silver, crude oils, sometimes, but majority Forex. So if you are going to venture out to those types of markets, make sure you do your research, make sure you understand how to calculate the pips, and you should be fine. Right, so should I close my trades ahead of important news? Unless you're like a really short trader, like 15 pips stop losses type of trader, then no, I don't think you should. Unless you've got a little bit of risk appetite and you're happy to keep those open, then that'll be fine. If you are a little bit skeptical that it is going to go against you and you're already in profit, then yeah, sure, go ahead and close it, but don't get into the train of thought of always closing your trades early, because sometimes you can get into the pattern of closing the winning trades early and the losing trades you'll end up being stubborn with and letting them run longer than they need to. Should I trade exotic currencies? Me personally, I don't trade exotic currencies, so bash on, like I say, remember to make sure that the pips are the same as Forex pairs. Like, so I know, for example, gold and other stuff, hugely different. I made huge mistakes when I first started out, placing stop losses that I thought were going to be calculated 1%, and I ended up losing like 15% on certain trades. It's just crazy. So make sure that you understand the pip calculations on those exotic pairs, and then also just look at how they fluctuate. Is there good volume? Is there loads of gaps in the market? Is it erratic? Is there loads of wicks everywhere? You don't want to be getting into those types of pairs. You just do your analysis, do your due diligence, and make sure that you understand what type of market you're getting into, and make sure that the pair trends quite a lot of the time. I know markets only trend 30% of the time, but make sure it trends that 30%. You get some markets that barely even trend ever. They're just all over the place and they're almost untradeable, but to the untrained eye they look great. To my untrained eye years ago, I used to jump into some crazy things that, just looking back, now I could tell that there was just absolutely pointless. Are certain trades better to trade than others? I'm not too sure what you mean by that. I think what you would mean is, are certain pairs better to trade than others? So, I mean, it all depends on, like, if you were to just be trading a couple of pairs, you'll get to know those pairs a lot better, and if you do get to know that pair a lot better, then yes, of course, they are better to trade than other pairs. From starting out, what pairs are better to trade? I mean, I can't really give you an answer to that. A USD JPY is a really popular one. Euro USD is the most popularly traded. Cable GBP USD, also known as. So again, it really doesn't matter. Just have a good look at the main ones, figure ones out, that based on your trading style, are we getting good volume for short-term trades, or some markets better recently for trends if you're a bit longer term. But personally, any of the top 10 most traded currency pairs in the world are great for you to start with. How do I identify a trend in market? Trend in market is just higher highs and higher lows if you're bullish, or lower lows and lower highs if you're bearish. So So again, we're going to do a video on lows and lower highs, but you could also see that in the trading course. But if you're watching this, I'm assuming you know what that means. It's just key bearish and bullish structure, so that's how you would tell if there's a trend in market. How much profit can I make trading? However much you've got in your account versus 1% of that versus how well you are handling your emotions will determine how well and how much money you make trading. How to identify a range of market? A range of market is just when it moves sideways. It's super easy to spot. Just identify two key areas that are being respected very well, and you will be able to see that markets are moving sideways, and once it breaks past those certain points, then if it starts creating bearish structure, bullish structure, like we're talking about higher highs and higher lows, or lower lows and lower highs, you will understand that we're now in a trending market out of that consolidation or ranging market. What is Forex spreads? Forex spreads is basically the amount of money that you pay depending on your broker for the exchange rate of the currency pair that you're trading. So if you trade a currency pair, say it's USD, you're automatically going to go on the minus. That's your spread to the broker calculated in with the exchange rate of that pair. So the exchange rate of US dollar versus Canadian dollar at the time, or vice versa. What is a pip? A pip is just a move in the market. A pip up or a pip down is a move in the market. Remember, pips are calculated different depending on what pairs you get. Where can I learn to trade Forex? There's loads of places you can learn to trade Forex. We're actually just, at the time of this video, about to release a course in the next couple of months. It's been a long time coming. That's going to be extremely beneficial. But again, just do your research. Make sure that you're not just diving into companies that you haven't heard of, because there are a lot of people who don't really teach you everything that you should know, and you could get burned and lose a lot of money. What trading platform do you use? We use MetaTrader 4. If it's not broke, don't fix it. We've never moved away from MetaTrader 4. We're going to continue to use MetaTrader 4. There is an updated version of MetaTrader 5, but me personally, I love MetaTrader 4 and I plan to keep on using it in the future. How much money is traded per day? I think at the time of this video is 7.7 trillion every single day trading the Forex markets, and it seems like it's just going to get bigger. So it's definitely a good time to start investing and really hone in on strategy and skills in the Forex market. Can I analyze from my phone? Absolutely not. I mean, you could use TradingView, and then all your TradingView analysis from your laptop could be transferred over to your phone, but you still don't get an overall picture of what the market's actually like. So I'd never ever recommend that you do analyse straight from your phone without using a computer. Is the market 24 hours? The market is 24 hours, but at the weekends it does shut at 10 o'clock. So from Friday at 10 it shuts, all the way through to Sunday at 10 it reopens again. So what is long, short, bullish and bearish? Long and bullish just means buying markets, and short and bearish, just bearish, they just mean selling markets. What do you do for technical analysis? We use TradingView. It's great for analysing the markets, and that is again something that we plan to use in the future. It's got everything that you could possibly need. We do have a video on how to use TradingView, so go and check that out, and we are going to be covering that in our course. So again guys, this has been the Q&A. Thank you for your questions. I hope this has helped. I know it and I understand it is a bit more for the beginner side of traders, but we do want to accommodate everybody. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and ring that notification bell so you see videos just like this again in the future.